Right in time.
So that's your online name?
Yeah, my online name.
Not
my actual name is Adam Service.
Okay.
I'm incredibly American, born and raised in Ohio.
So you're a streamer?
Yeah. I've been on Twitch, but I've been banned off Twitch a few times.
Spread the stream. Spread the stream.
Okay. My heroes, which is weird to say since they're younger than me. But
these guys are your heroes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Seriously?
Yeah. I wouldn't be here if they weren't.
So are you a MAGA communist?
Absolutely, MAGA communist. I used to hate Trump. I would call him old. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to cuss or say bad things.
No, you can cuss. Yeah.
Well, no. I used to call him a pedophile, illiterate, stuff like that, because I was a big Bernie bro, and I was like, I'll do anything for Bernie, anything, right? And that's why I love these guys, because they just assume you're smart. They're going to tell you all the smartest stuff, and if you don't get it, then you're just going to miss out on the next big thing, which hopefully is MAGA communism, or at least America's form of communism.
MAGA communism.
MAGA communism.
You know, people watching CNN are going to say, you're crazy.
Absolutely. I would hope so.
How's it going, everybody? All right, this is great. It's good to be here. We actually have CNN in the building with us tonight. They're filming some propaganda documentary. Which
I was 2 minutes late, but there was no intro. Everyone better be grateful. Spread the stream. Let's go.
Free America to free Palestine. Shout out to the AI gods for giving me this beautiful shot of the American cowboys with the Palestine flag. We need to stop supporting, these genocidal maniacs, and we need
look at our
to
based membership. Look at our based, beautiful,
at this very moment,
very great gorilla. Look at
the White House.
These are the gorillas. Look at our people.
Jackson had
great people.
Started speaking about Gaza.
I've been to Russia. I've been to China. Their major cities are much nicer.
Before he launched into pro-Russia and pro-China talking points.
Now, Russia's better and stronger than ever before, and their leader has a very high approval rating.
Based!
The more America supports real terrorist entities like Israel, real terrorist countries like Ukraine, the more that we strengthen our actual enemies.
Jackson's social media following skyrocketed after the October 7th attack on Israel.
Joe Biden is plunging us into a fascist state.
And he's a big fan of Vladimir Putin.
Jackson
Most
was
of
badass.
what is said about Vladimir Putin in the mainstream press is just factually not true.
We as communists want to unite with MAGA voters and finish the job of Donald Trump.
As the event came to a close, superfans lined up to meet Jackson.
Watch the smile wipe out of my face when they have a really dirty hit piece thing.
That was the most inspiring thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I've seen Barack Obama speak. That was something to behold, for sure. You see all the people there, and you think, wow, I'm really a part of something.
I really cannot tell if you're doing a bit.
But not everyone who came here was a fan of Jackson's.
Now, what did you think?
I think he's an insane person.
Insane?
Yeah, I think he's insane. Rightfully criticizes America where they should be criticized, but then glorifies the Chinese Communist Party, North Korea, terrorists.
This guy never.
That have kidnapped.
Who is this guy?
People. I think it's weird how he ties himself to MAGA and MAGA communism when Donald Trump is the most pro-Israeli president that's ever lived. MAGA communism.
He didn't mention Trump once at this speaking event.
Are you going to try to speak to him?
Yeah, I'm going to try to speak to him.
Okay.
I'm going to do so as a gentleman.
Oh, this is the one guy we had to kick out.
Nice to meet you.
Lane Kendall, a provocateur in his own right.
Let's ask about
who propped up Hamas? Why do we think Hamas had the ability to do what they did?
Oh, it's that Zionist guy who infiltrated.
Has a history of appearing on online conservative media.
Good. There's one thing when you talk about it, I want to make sure I understand. When you go into things about China, Russia, Iran, especially China, you omit so much.
Look at the gorilla with the hat
and the things that you
based.
Like I've lived in China. I went to Tsinghua University. You don't say that 600 million
I love
people
my
in the
people.
country still love them less than $1.40 a day.
Well,
why don't you
gorillas
say those
are so great.
Okay. You're very, very emotional.
Jackson quickly realized that he wasn't talking to just another fan.
All right, CNN propaganda. This guy's a CNN agent.
I think CNN is the worst outlet in the country.
Time to get out, buddy. Danny.
Is it the Kremlin?
Get this guy out.
Based. What did you think? We had free speech at our event? Get the fuck out of here, bitch.
But the men that we met here weren't always this way.
My name's Jackson Hinkle.
Yeah, when he was like 15, get out of here, man.
Progressive causes.
I was BLM originally. BLM has been co-opted by NATO, by the government.
And Adam, aka Charmhole,
I thought that was me.
as well.
So you
He was
used
gonna
to be a
say
big
Adam
liberal.
to
You
here.
used to be a big liberal.
Absolutely.
A big Democrat.
Yeah.
You were a Bernie bro?
Bernie bro, through and through.
I wanted to find out what had made them change.
Why do you think the Russians like you so much?
I speak truth.
Good to see you, man.
American politics is schizophrenic. You got one side saying you're crazy, you got the other side saying you're crazy.
Oh, there's more. Oh no.
Why did we choose Safe Flight?
They're
We
gonna
were
go-
loading our
oh my
SUV
God.
when crack.
There's more, and that means the hit piece hasn't. I thought it was gonna be like a 10-minute hit piece. They're doing. How long is this? I have to be on Suleiman Space. You guys know how long these things are? Because it's gonna be an hour. 1 hour. Oh no! We're fucked. All right, let me make a prediction. Actually, I'm not even make a prediction. This is going to be so fucking dirty and bad. Strap in, guys. Spread this stream. I'm going to go on Twitter right now. Go on Twitter after. This is going to be really bad. Millions of people are watching this in America right now. Super bad. Strap in. We're all fucked. We're all right. We'll be fine. But it's like, this is bad. This is really bad. 1 hour? They have a whole hour to shit on us. They have a whole hour to shit on us, all right? I bet you, like, my relatives are watching this. All right. Everyone strap in. We're on TV, all right? The Gorillas, we didn't know that we would make it this far, necessarily. I started out with me streaming and wife beaters. And with a very bad camera, just yelling in the mic. And then now we're here on CNN. Can't be that surprised. We made it far, but this is going to be a bad, dirty hit piece. I guarantee it. I guarantee you this is going to be a dirty, dirty, bad hit piece. And he's going to dig up the worst things I have ever said on... I have streamed thousands of hours over my past 3 years, and they're going to get the worst things I've ever said. Stalin, what's up? They're going to get the worst things I ever said. And they're going to put them all in one place, and it's going to be bad. But you know what? I don't know why I'm excited. I should be, like, upset. No, I'm not done, all right? I'm not done. It's just, like, pretty bad, all right? It's pretty bad. But it's definitely, it's not done. It's just like we're about to be blown up by a missile, basically. Just one missile, but it's a pretty big missile. Anyway, let's get into it, guys. This is a hit piece.
Here to see Charmhole, Adam Service. Adam campaigned for Bernie Sanders. Now he's a big fan of Jackson Hinkle, and in his own words, he is terminally online.
I was told Charmhole said he forgives Hitler, so prepare for that.
I've gotten taller since I've seen you now.
You've gotten shorter. I think my dad's hiding.
He doesn't want to be on CNN?
Dad was here to talk all about how this is a funeral parlor.
This was a funeral parlor?
Yeah, like 100 years ago. Yeah, this is actually my mom's hometown.
Okay.
Her
So
dad,
far-
World War II
okay.
vet, Pacific Theater.
So
he
far,
passed away
Charmhole hasn't said
2 years
anything too
ago.
crazy,
My mom passed away 2
but
years ago.
he will,
Her dad always had a
probably.
saying. That was his chair. If he'd go up to the bathroom or cook something, right, he'd jump
They
in the
literally
chair
hit
and then
gold finding
come out,
Charmhole,
he'd
by the
say,
way.
"Jump
CNN
in my
hit,
grave
they
as
struck
fast."
gold, all right?
2 years
It's
later,
a
she
fucking
jumped right
miracle. They found this guy. This is their biggest, they lucked out so much.
Cleaned up a little bit for you.
Thank you.
So what I've got is 2K monitor right here, curved Samsung Odyssey G7. Love this sucker, 240 frames a second.
Could I like pull in a chair maybe to sit with you? Or
Oh, actually, yeah. Look.
Like millions of other video gamers, Adam watches live streams on platforms like Twitch, where fellow gamers often talk politics.
How many hours a day would you say you play up here?
A day. play? Excuse me? This is work right now. This is research. I'm listening to Dan Bongino while also talking to you and playing Championship Rocket League. I'm God Gamer, all right? Remember that.
So how many hours a day are you God gaming?
I mean, it's a full-time job. So anywhere from 6 to 10 hours.
Wow.
It's hard to understand how disgusting politics is.
True. Politics is disgusting. So normally what I'll have is, I got Discord, everything loading up.
I'm just waiting.
So
I'm just
I got
waiting for
Bongino,
something bad.
Secret Service telling me all about how Jill Biden and Coco Cam almost allowed Trump to get JFK'd. And I'll do that while playing video games.
Is there a Taco Bell here? I've never had a Taco Bell.
You've never had Taco Bell? There's nothing
This guy
more
is
American than
so...
Taco
What?
Bell.
You never had Taco Bell? What the fuck is this?
4 cheesy street chalupas.
I'm sorry, but we don't serve the street chalupas anymore.
Dang! That's okay. Nice. Yeah, just rip it open.
That's not
Hope
bad.
it was worth it. No, just never have leftover Taco Bell.
Adam had moved back to his small hometown in rural Ohio after years of living in Bloomington, Indiana, a city about 4 hours away.
Wait, so tell me though, Jackson Hinkle.
Yeah.
MAGA communism.
Oh yeah, MAGA communism.
MAGA
Well, now
communism
it's-
sounds like the
so-
dumbest thing ever. To
So
me.
it's
How can you
boomers-
define it?
Boomer, you cannot define it to boomers, right?
Well,
because boomers,
I'm a millennial, I think.
right? Yeah. Okay. So it's like I said, you have to remember this. Communism is the Russian word for conservatism.
No, it's not.
You got the next intersection, you want to take a left, or else we're just going to see a whole bunch of beans and corn.
It kind of
You
is
ever
like in
miss
use.
The
How
bright
it's
lights of
used.
Bloomington?
Not like literally. It's not
No, not at all.
I
linguistically.
feel like you view your time in Indiana in the city as kind of like a period of your life that's over now, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Campaign for Bernie.
You were dating.
Calling all my
They
Facebook
dug
friends
deep.
racist because they didn't want to vote
They
for
dug
Obama.
deep. Jesus.
Yeah. Last time I saw you, Biden was still in the race. So wait, you're guessing you're just not a Harris fan.
She's a Zogbot.
What the
Oh
fuck is
my
a
God.
Zogbot?
You don't know what a Zogbot? All right. Zionist-operated government. We are.
Adam casually banters in the kind of hateful speech he regularly sees in memes and online slang.
But what happens in November?
They found him. They found the
if
guy.
Harris wins?
If
To slander us.
they don't make it too
You
big
said
to
Jesus
win
Christ.
and cheat again like they did 4 years ago, because the DNC definitely cheats, which Bernie just admitted live.
So you're saying the only way Harris could win is if they cheat?
Yeah, 1,000%. See, this is the thing, and this is probably what you're going to cut this all up into, is me being like a really bad, evil, white man racist that, oh man, I just hate Democrats, I hate liberals, like, right, a bunch of commies, and it's like, okay, one, I was just a part of them, like 4 years ago. I was in it, right? I've been betrayed by them multiple times. So now I'm trying my hand at being betrayed by the Republican Party.
Oh, nice!
But Adam's departure from the left has taken him down a dark path to people like white supremacist Nick Fuentes, conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, and MAGA communist Jackson Hinkle.
This is a
Adam is
crazy
among
hit
the
piece.
8% of Bernie Sanders supporters in the 2020 Democratic
We're literally
primary.
fucking. We
who are
hate the
now
Groypers. The fuck
pro-Trump.
is this?
And you actually find Jackson Hinkle impressive? You actually
Yeah, I
find-
have. But fundamentally, I have to, because one, he's really good looking. He's fundamentally a handsome man, right?
When we first met, you said that being an American man, being
They cut this
masculine,
up, to be fair.
It's been kind of equated with toxicity.
That's because it is by nature. We're naturally acidic, but we can also bust nuts and create more humans.
But the woman has a role in that too, right?
Well, yeah, they make the men. That's why my mom would always say there's two things she ever wanted to do in her life: be a nurse and have boys. She did both. That's why she died happy. You know?
Ah.
She died fulfilled. This is why I was such a liberal growing up, is because my dad would always listen to Rush Limbaugh, and he's always yelling, and he's really mad about everything, and everything's going to shit, and I was like, according to Mom, this is toxic, this is bad. So then I just naturally, I had an aversion to conservatism and men and masculinity. That's why I got called gay for so much. I mean, that and the blonde hair.
You got called gay?
Yeah, all the time. In this park, constantly.
But so one thing you brought up, you had a spell in a mental health hospital. Do you take any meds.
They
for
tried to get me on
depression.
Zyprexa. It was like $280 a month.
Right.
I laughed at that. I was like, yeah, right.
If you could afford it, would you?
No. No, I just smoked weed instead.
They're like trying to
I've
make
been
us
on
crazy, look crazy.
Antidepressants and stuff for about 12 years now.
Oh my Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, no wonder you're so good at being true neutral. You got no emotions to mess with you. Hey, Donnie, what's up today? How you feeling? Yes.
Probably grew up in a family like yours.
Yeah? Did the playground kids call you gay?
No, they call me fat though.
You were always this fat?
Yes.
There's
You
40
can
more
change.
minutes
You get
of
off those mood
this.
stabilizers, start throwing the b-ball.
Adam's use of homophobic, racist, and anti-Semitic slurs is something that he sees as quote-unquote edgy.
You keep saying Zogbot.
I'm only using Zogbot because I've been listening to a lot of Nick Fuentes.
You're not a Nick Fuentes fan.
Not necessarily. I think that...
Because he's a white supremacist.
Well, think about it.
He's a white supremacist.
Okay. He's a white proponent.
He's an anti-Semite.
He's
He is an
racefully
anti-Semite.
white. He loves Kanye. And Alex Jones, who they've been trying to nail for God knows how long now.
If they don't show me at all or show my interview at all,
But you don't believe the stuff he said about
the reason is because I handled it really well and I like really explained where we actually stand and how we have nothing to do with any of this far right shit.
Question for you to answer.
Well, look at the evidence. Let's say that he started to look into it, and it turns out Obama had those kids murdered on purpose.
But he didn't.
But if they died, that's still a possibility because he was president. And by purpose, I still mean negligence.
What about the parents of the children, right?
What about them?
But isn't what
Look, it
Alex
depends.
Jones doing is making these tragedies so much worse?
No. How do you get worse than child death?
I'll tell you how.
How?
By having idiots who watch Alex Jones show up and start harassing the parents of the children who died in the Sandy Hook shooting. That's how you
I wonder
make
if
it
he got
worse.
dirt from my
Adam and
interview.
I
He
were
couldn't
going
have.
around in circles
My interview
on
was
this nonsense
great.
when my photographer Andrew weighed in from behind the camera.
I just want to say something. I see a lot of you in me.
Yeah.
What if I told you I grew up 5 minutes from Sandy Hook? Just I was there. You know, like I was there right away.
You know somebody?
I knew.
Why will CNN not shut the fuck up about Alex Jones's mistake with Sandy Hook? I mean, they'll keep.
Small town. When something like
I don't understand it.
That's why I said earlier that maybe it was Obama who killed those children.
Jesus Christ.
Andrew, my photographer, had briefly
All right.
brought a dose
We
of
look crazy,
reality
guys.
to the
I don't know what to
fantasy
say.
world that Adam lives in online.
The only way we beat this is we just be the normal selves that we are.
Left Adam to travel to
So
the
everyone could see this is literally like an exception.
where we were.
I mean, it's not even affiliated with
former
us.
Twitch heroes, Hassan Piker.
What is going on with this, bro? Chicago put some crazy shit on their dog.
And some other familiar faces.
Mike. Mike Lindell's in here.
Dude, have you seen
Pillow
him yet?
guy's here? Yeah. He has no mustache.
Oh, he actually shaved it? Oh my god, we have to find him.
Well, we're interviewing each other.
All
The
right.
reaction to the Birth 101 episode was overwhelming.
The idea that this fictional character
All right. I
played
mean,
Hinkle-
they found. Okay. All this is because I'm a nice guy. Everyone thinks I'm so brutal. I'm so fucking harsh and evil. I was told Charmhole was at our event, even though I told him not to come, by the way. And I said, look, I was having such a good time. I was so happy to see all my gorillas. And I was told, well, Charmhole's here. And I was in such a good mood. I said, you know what? Charmhole's a really silly, ridiculous guy, but he came out all this way. You know, I'm not going to kick him out. Let him stay. He's not one of us. He's not a gorilla. He's not like he would never be allowed in like an actual party that we have. But it's like, I was like, you know what? You know, I'm not going to be a dick. I mean, he's just crazy. He's just a crazy guy. I mean, I didn't think CNN would take this guy and make him a representative of our entire movement. And it makes the goal is to make us look crazy. The goal is to make us look crazy and to CNN watchers. But it's like, you know, What can you do? If you're already watching CNN without skepticism and reservation, there's probably nothing we could do to even win you over to begin with. And that was one of the reasons we did the whole MAGA communism thing. Because it's like, look, people who trust and watch CNN, I don't really think there's a lot of room for us to even speak to those people. That's why he's showing Jackson praising Russia and China as like self-evidently absurd and ridiculous. Because that's what CNN watchers think. And the worst is definitely not here yet. There's going to be really bad stuff that is to come. They're going to interview Hassan, and then they're probably going to go back to Jackson, and then they're going to go to me, and they're going to show me saying, they're going to find something of me saying something really bad or yelling. They're going to have me yelling. They're definitely going to show me yelling, okay? That's fine. But the worst is yet to come, I promise. In this documentary. This so far is like not even the worst, all right? Charmhold talked about Zogbot, a term we don't use in our community. You'll find no evidence of us using it, but he used it because he watches Nick Fuentes, who's an op of ours. But Charmhold isn't loyal to us. That's the thing. He's not loyal. If he was loyal to us, he wouldn't be going to Nick Fuentes' conferences. How can you be a guerrilla and have divided loyalty? You can't. It's impossible. Guerrillas are loyal to this red flag, right? Guerrillas are not loyal. They don't have divided loyalty and meander around and orbiting around and flip-flopping, you know, like a political cosmopolitan or something. Like you're at a fucking buffet and you're just going to sample every single fucking streamer, including Hassan too, by the way. It's just curious Donnie doesn't point out how Charmhole still is active in Hassan's chat and watches him and is a fan of Hassan. They're going to take the Wow Mao. If they took the Wow Mao shit, that would be great, but I doubt they're going to do that, all right? That's not what they're going to show. They're going to show something really bad, all right? I don't know what it is. But it's going to be like something out of, I don't know what it is. I really don't know. There's a few things I could think of, like of me yelling and being aggressive to scare people. They're definitely going to show something from when me and Jackson went to TwitchCon and trolled the libs. Because he already showed a clip of me and Jackson at TwitchCon when we were smoking cigars in one of the previews for this. So that's definitely something we should expect. They're probably going to show me calling like I forgot who, a fat fuck in person. When we went to TwitchCon and I confronted Destiny's crew and like basically punked them out. They're probably going to show that.
Palestine will be free!
It's the first morning of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, and pro-Palestinian protesters are already gathering.
I think people here came in peace. I'm literally came in peace. I'm asking for peace.
Well, I'm hoping to shit up without getting arrested.
Dude, chill out. Chill out. We're all pressed.
Did you check in yet?
It is tense here.
We just prepared as press. Yeah. Then why didn't we We're sorry about that, honestly.
The organizers are right to be worried.
Because these guys. They're scumbags. They're ruining America.
Not everyone here is on their side.
Loads of pro-Palestine demonstrators gathering over here. Small group of pro-Israeli demonstrators. And among them, we found some MAGA influencers.
Hey, who are you with?
CNN.
Oh no!
We watched as far-right troll and Pizzagate conspiracy theorist Jack Posobiec tried to disguise himself as a pro-Palestine protester.
Now, the mainstream media isn't going to be out here.
What the fuck does this have to do with us?
That's hanging out here.
But his disguise didn't work out.
Hey, Jack! How are you? This is a right-wing fascist.
And Jack the Troll got trolled.
How many abortions have you had today?
DNC. I'm getting paid by George Soros to have an abortion on the stage.
I'll be broadcasting live.
But it's not just outside the event. This year's DNC was the first where creators or influencers were treated the same as the mainstream press. One of the biggest stars in the new world of news consumption is Hassan Piker.
I'll put this in the trunk too. How are you letting this guy drive?
How do you explain what it is you do?
I have a pretty easy explanation for people that are older. I basically do what Rush Limbaugh used to do, right? But online instead of on radio, and also I don't have brainworms.
This game is woke!
Hassan has almost 3 million followers on the video game streaming.
You see how they're not going to show Hassan saying America deserved 9/11? They're not going to make him look bad. Even though they could. There's shit Hassan said. You can make him look bad. They're not going to do it.
The president was found guilty of all 34 felony counts teen election.
By the way, I don't think what he said was bad. I'm just saying optically for CNN it would be.
Sometimes playing a character named after me. He even tries to do an Irish accent.
My name is Donny O'Sullivan, sir. I'm fascinated with Republicans, and I obviously always love the hits that you would do when you go to these rallies and you talk to them.
Before we get out, people might confuse us.
Yeah.
You're 6'4", built like myself. Are you a Harris supporter?
I wouldn't say I'm a Harris supporter.
You'll vote for her?
Maybe. We'll see. I get a lot of criticism from the Democratic Party loyalists regardless.
Yeah.
Hassan was about to try and live stream all day from the DNC.
He can vote for genocide Kamala and advocate for that.
It's cool, and it's much cooler than I anticipated.
I can see CNN from here. Anderson! Anderson!
There's a restraining order. So this is in your rider.
that would not be in my rider.
Protein. You need more protein in here.
It would feature.
I'm so narcissistic. I'm waiting for them to show me. I'm on TV. It's gonna be bad, guys.
A bro, one of these so-called masculine men that Jackson and Charm revere and aspire to be.
Do you know about this MAGA communism?
Yes, Jackson Hinkle being one of them. He was like a Bernie bro.
That might be the only time.
I don't know anything about the guy.
You were a Bernie guy. You were a Bernie bro.
Yeah, I like Bernie a lot. Yeah.
But Hassan says his brand of masculinity is very, very different to Jackson's.
Hitler, at the end of the war, he killed himself. He's a
Like, how does this happen? Where you are to the right of Adolf Hitler?
All right. Not sure how bad that makes Jackson look.
Has made them go from far left to far right.
How's he far right?
Young man, in a
He
certain
just
point in their
insulted
lives,
Hitler. He just insulted Hitler. How's that far right?
Some kind of insecurity, whether it be
Does he use a bad word?
or whether it be about like their future prospects or whatever. And I think that like a lot of these guys take advantage of that and present this false narrative that like, in order to be a man, you got to be like homophobic. It's like, no, a real man is going to want to protect people who are marginalized.
It really is getting intertwined more and more with politics, where a lot of young men who are disillusioned for whatever reason, they don't have girlfriend, they don't have a job, and they have people telling them, wait, this is not your fault. And to some extent, it's a societal issue, of course, but here specifically is who to blame, in a way that can have profound impacts for our society and our politics.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely correct, which is why I always advocate to fix the underlying.
This is literally just a libtard circle jerk. Just a libtard circle jerk.
These kind of guys to be radicalized in this.
The failing CNN, just like circle jerk shit.
I just dropped 0. What is happening?
By the way, we're the
didn't give the Twitch streamer the thing he needed most.
We're the feds, not Hassan, by the way.
Completely gone. The internet is completely gone. They shut it off.
With the great Paddy LaBelle rehearsing behind him.
What the
we left Hassan to figure out his technical difficulties. As we moved around the DNC, we saw more and more creators and influencers, each one trying to upstage the other.
Yes, I'm here at the Democratic DNC Day
It's halfway done.
What is a skibbity?
That's such BS. So you got Ben and Harry here. You got a right-wing guy versus a really big supporter for Harris here. I gotta give it to them. They are arguing statistics and policies. It hasn't divulged into culture war bullshit yet.
But that didn't last long.
Okay, well, I did it. I used the gender-neutral bathroom, and out there, here you are, there is something wrong with that.
Ben had soon moved on to the convention's gender-neutral restrooms.
How was that experience?
I'll tell you what.
He was joined at the restrooms by Mike Lindell, the pillow salesman and election denier who was also in disguise.
Shaving off my mustache, we're going inside the Democrat convention in disguise. Are you from Ireland?
I did not recognize you.
Mike isn't exactly discreet.
I snuck in. I'm in the Democrat convention.
Lindell debated too, with a 12-year-old content creator.
257,000 votes. This happened last week. A judge ruled in Georgia.
Who wasn't buying it.
So your sources trust me, bro? That's your source? He provided no facts, no sources.
Mike Lindell just got rolled by a 12-year-old.
Jackson Hinkle didn't make it to Chicago for the convention this summer, but he had made multiple trips to Russia.
Now I'm in Vladivostok. I'm safe for the time being.
I wanted to find out who Jackson really is, so we finally got to speak to him.
Oh no!
You are an absolute gift to the propagandists in Russia
I'm
and
nervous.
China.
I'm a gift to the free people of
They're
the
gonna
world.
show me.
And to some of the people who knew him best.
Are you worried for him?
I'm more worried for myself doing this right now, honestly, but
Why?
I don't want his army coming after me for speaking out against the MAGA communism movement.
Who the fuck is that guy? Alright, they're gonna show me next. If they don't, I got saved.
Next Sunday.
Hola, familia.
On the Navarro.
Listen, if they don't show me at all, we bought some time. But if they show me, I'm nervous. Anyway, this I think that cliffhanger is gonna be like they're gonna get into the MAGA communism army. He just mentioned the army. Who's the commander of the army? All right. This is gonna be now. This is the worst part. The worst part is gonna be now, like after this commercial, guaranteed. This is gonna be the worst part, the biggest hit piece of all time. I just hope I look good. I hope the camera angles were right. I didn't say anything wrong, but I have definitely said and yelled a lot in the thousands of hours I've streamed, okay? And there's a lot they could take out of context. I don't know, actually. Probably. Of me yelling at people, definitely, though. That makes me look crazy. But that's okay. But, yeah, they're not going to show me or us in a good light, all right? And, yeah, surprisingly, the Charmhole Hitler clip has not surfaced. But it's coming. The worst part is coming. And they're saving it for the end. Jackson's interview was spliced, by the way. Like they would ask a question, they would put a different answer in. At least in the preview that we saw. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know, that's my response to Donnie. But see, here's why it's scary right now. I am so giddy and excited, but I shouldn't be because this is really bad. This is actually really bad, but on a personal level, I'm super giddy and excited about it. But on a professional level, I should be very worried. But I'm just not emotionally worried. I'm actually extremely excited and giddy to see myself on TV. I don't care how they show me. But I have to be collectivistic and not individualistic. As an individualist, which I'm not, I'm emotionally being giddy and excited because I'm like, oh my God, I made it on CNN. But as a professional, as chairman of the party, I should be super fucking worried. And I am on the rational level. You know, I'm going to respond to this, by the way, in the right way. We're going to be making our own video breaking down how CNN was dishonest. We're going to be providing receipts about Charmhole and everything, how it was a hit piece. We're going to have our own response, but you know, I can't lie to you and pretend like I'm not excited right now, all right? I am. It's just not good. This is an actual hit piece. if they pursue the... It's like, okay, part of me, if they embarrass me, I will find it... There's something about it, like, I'm like, oh my God, this is so funny. But on the other hand, it's like, oh no, this is a bad first introduction. But like, I also am... I'm just like you guys. I find it funny too, all right? Like, if they show me Versus Destiny... oh my God. But it's kind of like, oh, that's bad. It's not a good first impression for me to be taken seriously. But I'm so demonic, man. What's wrong with me right now? Anyway.
Surfers for Kennedy! Surfers for Kennedy! What do you think about a surfing president? Get him.
What's his name?
BG.
He's beautiful.
A surfing competition isn't exactly where you might expect all of this political activity.
300 Biden, man. 300 Biden. He's my president.
But this is an election year, and this is Orange County in Southern California.
I voted
What is
for
this?
Reagan.
Yeah.
I voted for Perot. And ever since then, I've voted
20 more minutes.
about the
20 more minutes.
Irina Morris voted Democrat for decades, but since RFK dropped out of the race and endorsed Trump, she says she'll now probably vote MAGA.
I'm voting against the appointee from the swamp factory.
Jackson Hinkle has had a similar, albeit more dramatic journey from the political left to the political right. Before he was a social media firebrand and before he was a darling of the Kremlin.
Jackson's not a right winger.
Jackson grew up here. And just a few short years ago, he was a soft-spoken kid who picked up trash on the beach and organized to cut down...
Jackson was a kid once. You know, he wasn't always an
We
adult.
were in the same environmental science class.
Josh Green was friends with Jackson all throughout their teens.
We were some of the few liberal students in our entire school. We had a very conservative student.
Is this a guy where Jackson fucked his girlfriend? Is that the same guy?
Causes together.
And so we would often be ridiculed
I have to ask
for
Jackson.
standing up for progressive issues like the environment or gun safety or gay rights. You know, people thought that we were, soft leftist snowflakes.
After Jackson graduated high school, he was the youngest person here to run for city council.
I think that a good city council candidate has to be well versed on the issues.
Orange County is very conservative. What are you rascally kids up to in this run for office?
We're up to a lot right now.
He had a remarkable little career considering he was just out of high school. He's putting himself through junior college. And he was responsible for all the solar panels that you see around San Clemente High School. And that was his idea. And he just had that drive that you see in some young people, but not a lot of them.
A natural communicator.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Jackson lost his election bid and sometime thereafter lost his youthful politics as well.
A lot of what I had been force-fed through my education as a young individual was all propaganda.
Something had turned him into this.
You're gonna kind of go down the path of faggots like that. They were all transgenders and gays.
The Nazis?
Yes!
Hey, man.
I've been searching for answers about Jackson, and he agreed to sit down and talk to me directly.
You're promoting something called MAGA communism.
Yes.
Which to a lot of people is going to sound moronic.
Well, I think it causes a lot of people to reassess their cancellation of the MAGA working class, and they've been written off. They've been called racist or, any sorts of names. They've just been canceled.
You are, in some ways, the quintessential American man, right? You're surfer guy, California. So, for the Russians or the Chinese to have somebody like you to go over there and basically shit all over America.
No shitting on America. I love this country. I love the people. I just want it to be better.
CNN is so dirty. Without having to fly back and forth to Moscow and seem to be...
Yeah, they're just trying to spin it. He's a Russian agent, whatever.
Well, they're far less authoritarian than the United States.
Come on, man.
Ultimately,
ultimately,
I live in the generation where for the first time there's going to be a lower standard of living than the previous generation. That's not good.
And I mean, I hear all that, but when you say Russia and China have got it better.
Well, their major cities are much nicer. If you go and take high-speed rail hours into China.
You can't genuinely say that people in Russia and people in China
have more liberties
They do.
than people in the United States.
I can prove it.
Well, there's no free speech.
You have a lot of free speech.
Really?
It's banned everywhere, but the Elon Musk
you don't think you have
platform.
free speech?
No, I mean, what's the public square today? It's obviously social media.
You have 3 million followers on X. You can post whatever you want. You're hosting events here. How do you not have free speech? What part
it's
of your
very
speech
simple.
is being curtailed?
It's very simple. It's very simple. Yes, I have 3 million followers on X, but what about Instagram? I've been banned. YouTube, I've been banned. I was banned from Raya, a dating site.
Jackson's bans might have something to do with his repeated sharings of hateful posts and his celebrations of violence.
You look like you're in pain.
I'd been left frustrated and confused by Jackson. Did he really believe all the stuff he was saying, or was he just doing it all for social media clout or for money?
I just don't know if I believe you or not.
Whatever his motivations, his message and his propaganda is resonating.
You know, like Donald Trump, Jackson has definitely found a way to build an audience of people who feel disenfranchised or feel pushed away by our society and our system.
Was there ever a moment for you where you were like, wait, what the hell is going on?
I'm too dangerous to give good exposure.
Was when he did the
They're like, don't show that guy.
So Biden is plunging
That guy's
us
crazy.
into a fascist state.
Because Tucker Carlson is an asshole. Somebody who, like Jackson, either believes what they're saying or because they get paid a lot to do it. Jackson describes himself as a communist, right? Why? Because he smoked a lot of weed and read Karl Marx. He's the biggest fucking capitalist I've ever seen. I'm so disappointed in what's happened to Jackson. He had this opportunity to be something really positive.
What, like
he has
you, bitch?
become the king of conspiracy theories.
The king of conspiracy theories.
Have you heard of somebody called Jackson Hinkle?
Yes.
What do you think about him?
Not my politics at all.
Jackson had been condemned and disavowed by established
Oh my God, Brian Becker.
activists.
People see our cause and our issue as their playground a lot of the times.
But he isn't alone in resetting his political compass.
I feel more like a man.
I thought they were going to show
already,
me.
just listening to these gentlemen.
And some of it reflects a big change in American politics.
I think a lot of the younger
Where's
generation,
Oz?
they have a different perspective.
They showed
of
me
US
one
history,
time.
Colonialization. They're skeptical of what the government's telling them.
All right. Am I in the clear, Gorillas? Gorillas, am I in the clear? Is Haas going to slip away back into the shadows, continuing to do his work? I might be in the clear. Fuck, I'm not going to jinx it, all right? You have no idea. No, don't tell me sorry. If they don't show me, I am literally like, that is so good if they're not doing a hit piece on me, all right? Because so far, what they've done to Jackson is not the worst, all right? They haven't made Jackson... Look, they made... Libtards will get offended by him, but he doesn't look bad, all right? And to do what I do, it's like, it would be really bad for me if they're, like, gonna vilify me, all right? But it seems like they're gonna... They know this is a guy we can't give attention to because he's actually like a fucking Sith Lord, and he's actually, like, really dangerous. Because Jackson's young and he's outgoing and he's got the charisma, they can try to paint Jackson as someone where it's ambiguous if he believes what he's saying. But I am straight up a dark wizard who explained to CNN a very like coherent worldview and outlook. And it's like, I don't think they want to dignify this phenomena with a theoretical and philosophical basis. Because in our interview that they made of me, I was like, there's nothing that would make us look really good, right? But what I was worried about is how if he's going to run a narrative on me and this community where it's like he's going to like bullshit about us and he's going to like show bad clips of me, and you know, that I would be a little bit worried about. But User Tom, what's up? But this definitely like buys us time. If they're not doing a hit piece on me, we're good. I mean, Jackson, what they did to Jackson so far, maybe Jackson, we have to wait for Jackson to weigh in, but it's like It's a lot less bad than I thought it. It's still bad, but it's like, see, user Tom, thanks. CNN is so out of touch that they actually think like this makes him look like the worst guy ever to everyone. When most Americans will see Jackson, and I think they'll just be neutral. I think libtards and CNN viewers will be like, oh my, he's like, the demographic that this is meant to scare is not really one we give a shit about, basically, you know? So they were a lot less intelligent than we thought they would be. And it's like, so far, I mean, we have 10 more minutes of this special, but so far, everything, it'll be smooth sailing. With nothing to worry about. But there's still 10 minutes left, and a lot can happen in 10 minutes, all right? But so far, in my opinion, we don't really... I don't even know if I even want to respond to this, because this is a nothing burger. It's not going to help us. Definitely doesn't help us, but it's like, this doesn't really do a lot of harm to our party. It's just kind of a nothing burger so far. Oh, Jackson said some bad words. But that is not... I don't think most Americans are so sensitive where for them that's like the worst thing ever. It's like even South Park said. It's like when they were calling bikers that word, they're like, well, yeah, I'm not actually referring. Anyway, look, I think Jackson... Last 10 clips is full Haas psycho mode. Last 10 clips is Haas going to war with all these people. It's just full psycho mode. It's like, this is the crazy guy behind it all. Oh god, I jinxed it, maybe.
We're quiet.
Oh wow, that's a great setup. And where's CNN?
It's just Hasoy Pecker.
He shaved his mustache in an effort to...
If this is just Hasoy Pecker, then we're in the clear.
Dude, I have a better location than Jake Tapper. You should
Operation running smoothly.
Hassan had finally got some working internet.
You are the news now.
I think most people who are like not exactly fans of my perspective are still like, well, that's a famous
Hassan looks like a fucking... Alright? Like, they're trying to make him look good, but he looks like an out-of-touch... One's if you're a working class person and you think Hassan looks bad, like from your perspective, and you think like your family members would see him as a fucking douchebag.
There are a lot of people that are on the payroll of the American government, or at least working at the behest of the American military-industrial complex, that say a metric ton of propaganda that is never considered propaganda in that same vein as what Jackson Hinkle is doing. Now, I don't even know what his background is in terms of like if he's getting funded by foreign governments or whatnot.
For all his chauvinism and misinformation, Jackson is speaking to a different understanding of America.
COVID changed the world. There was a radicalization on the right when it came to lockdowns and it came to masks.
Yeah.
What about on the other side?
The American project hinges on being able to afford your treats. The moment that your access to your treats that are affordable are restricted...
What a fucking out-of-touch thing to say. People can't afford fucking groceries and paying for their kids' lives and education, and he's calling this treats? F this guy. He's calling it fucking treats when he lives in a $3 million fucking mansion, and Americans are being fucking crucified by inflation and debt? He's calling it treats? F this guy.
Football. COVID broke that a little bit. All of a sudden...
Clip that, bitch!
Like, well, okay,
fucking Americans struggling to get by, can't even put food on the fucking table, like so much stress, working 3 jobs, he's calling it treats!
Was like a
from his $3 million mansion!
Kremlin, basically. How does that happen?
I don't think his political compass is very well aligned.
Joshua Frank is the editor of Counterpunch, one of the best-known left-wing magazines in the world.
I certainly don't think he's on the left. I don't know what a mega communist actually is, and I don't think he does.
One thing that Jackson and I can agree on, we're both American patriots in the sense that we're willing to criticize our own country. I don't disagree with everything that he says. I think there's way too much Russia phobia in this country. Obviously, the war with Russia and Ukraine is horrible, but I think this country needs to eventually work with countries like Russia and China
I think a lot of the younger generation, they have a different perspective of U.S. history of colonialization. They're further away from World War II and that narrative. They're skeptical of what the government's telling them to believe, especially when they're seeing an alternative in their social media feeds. But that's also where it can get kind of dangerous, because you do have to have some sense of media literacy.
Yeah, because it's one thing having a healthy skepticism of any media outlet, really, right? And any narrative that's being pushed. But on the other hand, what you have is people totally abandoning journalism, getting their news from somebody like Jackson Hinkle.
If you or a loved one has ever been fooled by Western propaganda about Ukraine, I don't blame you.
He'll post stuff that
Let's go,
is so
Jackson!
infuriatingly ill-informed. So many people in his comments, in his community, just take what he's saying as
Let's go! Jackson is a Russian propaganda dream, right?
Yeah. Yeah, whether he's doing
That's
it,
our fucking
he's on a
guy!
payroll or not, they're getting a great bargain, right? I mean, if the guy was actually on the left, he would talk about the press in Russia and the crackdown on the free press. They would talk about these things, but they don't, right? And why is that? It raises some flags for me.
Hey, Jackson.
How's it going?
You're breaking up a little bit, but that's okay.
Good, here in Moscow, Russia.
Yeah!
Yes, I see that it is trying to reconnect the internet.
Now he's totally frozen.
When I next spoke to Jackson, he was back in Russia. The Kremlin had organized to bring him to parts of Ukraine it had illegally invaded.
American
hero! No, I think
He's
the only
pursuing
people
the
who
truth
being brainwashed
to
are the
see with his
people
own
paid by
eyes.
the military-industrial complex to spout certain views.
You haven't gone kind of
the
full
deep
Tucker
state!
Carlson
Fuck
yet,
the
though. You
US
haven't
government!
gone to a supermarket and started sniffing bread.
Oh, come on. And coming to a Russian grocery store, the heart of evil, it will radicalize you against our leaders. That's how I feel. Anyway.
True.
Radicalized.
Jackson denies taking money from the Russian government.
You're a guest, basically, of the Russian foreign ministry, right?
Are you sure it's only an hour, guys?
Private
Or is it an hour and a
public,
half?
Individuals that I think are supporting my efforts to see the country and showing me the truth about Russia. I pay for my travels. I pay for my hotel expenses.
Every time I think maybe this guy is mature, you tweet something stupid. You did a poll. You're facing a death sentence before a judge, but the judge is on her period. Are you okay with this?
Most people will laugh at that.
Are you
right?
just a straight up sexist?
I
just don't
guarantee
understand.
most people
What's the
find
deal
that
with this
funny.
sort of stuff.
Well,
on
of course,
CNN
you
in
have
real
to
life.
introduce comedy into the dark times. But
Jackson and his followers have a warped view of women and of the world.
So I was dating all these women who were LARPing as men, who want power for themselves, who want money, who want to be like men, unlike a traditional
we're not in the
woman,
clear yet.
And they all failed. Game theory suggests that the problem is not me.
But in an election year like this, a lot of things get warped.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
My mom actually seen a post on Facebook. There was Haitians in a white van driving around the neighborhoods collecting cats.
For what?
Skinning them and eating them.
We've heard from a number of constituents on the ground, Caitlin, who both firsthand and secondhand reports saying this stuff is happening.
If someone calls your office and says they saw Bigfoot, that doesn't mean they saw Bigfoot.
But J.D. Vance has also been the target of ridiculous conspiracy theories.
Let me break it down. Yesterday,
nobody gives a
multiple
fuck.
social media accounts spread fake claims that in his book, Hillbilly Elegy, Vance describes having sex with a couch.
Sitting on a hard couch here.
Not my thing, but maybe it's J.D. Vance.
2 minutes left.
You know, it's funny. My mom was asking me about it.
I'm sweating,
She asked if it
nervous.
was true.
2 minutes left.
A lewd conspiracy
all right.
theory about J.D. Vance
All
and
we
a
need is
couch
2 more
doesn't
minutes of
quite
this
undermine
nonsense.
American democracy the same way as for years falsely claiming an election was stolen. But it does show how a conspiracy theory that might seem crazy or clearly a joke to some of us might not to someone else, especially if it plays into their political biases.
So, but your mom, who's a Democrat?
Anti-Trump, I would call her. yeah.
Okay. But she was genuinely wondering, did that
No
happen?
way this is only an hour.
Yeah.
Are you sure
And
it's
that-
only
that
an
was
hour?
after when Walls made the comment in his speech.
I can't wait to debate the guy. That is, if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. So,
I mean, it's over in 1 minute. How are they going to fit it?
you see what I did there?
But I also think that that's our day and age with politics, right? You have someone like Trump and Vance out there saying a million things every day.
I'm nervous
so
as
the
fuck.
Democrats pushing back
It's
in
like,
a funny
I think
way.
a 15-minute clip of me now.
It's kind of like they ask for it, right?
I spend a lot of my time talking to Trump supporters, trying to understand the rabbit holes people go down. On your stream, you have a bit of fun with it sometimes. I think you also refer sometimes to Trump supporters as hogs. So you're not going to take the vaccine?
Absolutely
No,
not.
it's
What if
still
Trump
going,
came out and
guys.
said, please take this vaccine?
No.
Guys, it's still going. It's not an hour long. Or it maybe including commercials. And it doesn't feel like it's wrapping up. I might be fucked. They might actually include me.
I do ultimately still want to change the minds of people. I don't necessarily fault individuals for going down this rabbit hole because I understand that we're all, in some ways, victim to propaganda. We cannot escape propaganda.
Rachel Maddow, she's broke my heart. Rachel, I thought you'd tell me the story.
All right, that's the music of
More and more of us have people we love, our family, our friends, falling down rabbit holes. Rabbit holes that stoke fear and promote hate. Rabbit holes that can transform people from who they used to be. And rabbit holes that can even take them into war zones at the other side of the world. Are you being followed by like the Russian security services, or for that matter, the CIA? I mean, surely the American government knows that you're there.
Well, I think if the CIA or the Russian intelligence is doing their job properly, I wouldn't know, and I don't know.
Okay, well, bring me back a fridge magnet or something, will you?
I've actually got a special gift for you. No, you'll like it, I promise.
No way! We fucking did it! Victory! We fucking did it! That was not nearly as bad as I thought it would be! We got on CNN! We're in the fucking clear! They failed! Even the worst things they tried to get on Jackson just made him look relatable and funny! Holy shit! That is way less bad than I thought it would be! Holy fuck! We're in, motherfuckers! They lack so much self-awareness they don't even see how a normal person who sees that. The MAGA working class. We fucking won! What the fuck? I got an angel watching over me, man. Guys, there's a few reasons they didn't show me. One, Haas is like a fucking Sith Lord. Don't show this guy, don't give him attention, because he's fucking dangerous. Because they see you, gorillas. They see your devotion. They see this army. And they will try they will do everything by any means necessary to prevent this army from growing. They don't want our ranks to be filled with more gorillas, because we are the ones that carry this ideology, this movement. You are the enforcers. This is the army, and I am your commander. And they all are putting a blockade on me because they don't want our ranks to grow. But what they don't know is that we don't need their help. We don't need their help. All I need to do is work as your chairman of the American Communist Party to get this fucking party off the ground and take this country back for the working class, for the American working class. They interviewed me for 1 hour, 2 hours. Nothing. They showed my face one time. I think another reason they didn't show me, guys, they didn't know who I was. Zero record, zero information. Complete mystery person. I'm a fucking shadow. I'm fucking Darth Maul. I am literally a shadow specter. I am the Phantom Menace, motherfucker. They don't even know who I am. They can't go to my hometown and talk about... They don't know. They can't do what they did with Charmhole and Jackson to me. I want y'all to understand something. Jackson watches the sky, and Hard watches the neighborhood. I'm at my post. Jackson, I gotta talk to him. He's sleeping right now. I don't think they made him look that bad. They tried to. They definitely had the intention. But I think he looked relatable. Like that, see, that tweet he made about the menstruating judges, we don't encourage that because it makes us look bad to the community and it offends some women and stuff. But on cable TV with a bunch of boomers, a family in a living room seeing that, I guarantee the dad is gonna laugh. The dad will laugh at what that guy read out. And that's all we need is for him to laugh. And that's it. He laughs. That's power, that's authority, that's truth. It's literally just funny. It's not even that serious. Literally just... Oh my god, that is a W though. They tried to give us an L, but it actually was a W. Guys, you have no idea how fucking nervous I was. I was coping with my nervousness with laughter and excitement, but I was like, is CNN gonna fuck me up in my cradle? And they didn't do shit. This is so great. Oh my god, this is a fucking W. Another love, my tears may use love on another love, my tears may use love on another love, my tears may use love. Wow, that was a fucking huge W. Holy shit. Guys, that's literally... Is there... I hope there's not an epilogue. They barely gave Brian Brecker attention. And they gave Hassan most of the attention. I don't know what this guy Donnie is thinking. He's so out of touch. And then I thought about it, guys. This guy's never tried Taco Bell. How the fuck does he know the psychology of Americans if he's never tried Taco Bell? It's like, we lucked out. This is some random fucking guy from Ireland. He's not even American. He doesn't even know how we think as a people. He's just some European. He didn't even know how Americans think. And we lucked, just like they lucked. This is why God is just. Just like they lucked out with Charmhole, we lucked out with this fucking guy, Donnie. He's literally just some naive Irish guy. Didn't even know anything about America. He hasn't even tried Taco Bell before. They lucked out with Charmhole, but we lucked out with him. He tried making Jackson look bad, but Americans think it's hilarious. Irish people might be clenching their pearls, but we don't give a fuck about Irish people here. We're not Irish. We're American. What do you guys think? I think a W. I think W for us. I straight up think W for us. I don't see how this was an L. I thought it was going to be a huge L we were going to take. I don't see it. I see a huge W. I love how they showed me. They're like, and masculinity, and then they showed my face. Thanks, Donnie. Oh, man. That's the only time they showed me is when they were saying masculinity. And I was smoking a cigar. I was looking great. The only time they showed me. I mean, to be fair, I don't really look bad ever, but you know. You wanted the Haas interview. The Haas interview was actually super based, though. I am a little disappointed. See, look, here's the thing. It's a little sad that they didn't show my interview because it was a good interview for me. And that's why they didn't show it, by the way. Because the whole thing was like substance. It was very articulate. It was really good. But it was also like I was defending North Korea. But like I defended North Korea in such a like convincing way that even Donnie was confused. That's why they're not going to show it. But on the other hand, if they even acknowledged me and they said, oh, Haas or Haas al-Din, they would have done like a whole, like, they would have introduced everyone to me. And on the one hand, yeah, that I get clout and attention from that. But on the other hand, they get to define who I am. They get to like be like, oh yeah, this guy, he's like yelling all the time. He's crazy. He's violent and he's dangerous, right? Which, you know.
They might be saving your
Demos.
interview for when we get more recognition.
No. I mean, look, I will never be a viral influencer. Ever. I think I've hung up my cape as far as being a viral influencer is concerned years ago when I got banned from Twitch. But what I will be is an influential person. You know, I will be somebody who streams still, but I'm not primarily an influencer anymore, guys. I'm the chairman of a communist party now. I'm writing books. I'm meeting in official capacity. This is not the same thing, you know? And I'm still your leader of the guerrilla army, and in that capacity, I still am an influencer, and I'll always be infrared. And I'll always be building up infrared. But will infrared ever be something that CNN covers? Probably not. You know, even if I got 1 million subscribers on YouTube, they're not going to cover me. I'm going to tweet about the hit piece and let's boost it, all right? Like, let me explain to you how they failed. For example, they used some kid from Jackson's hometown who's like a super out of touch coastal elite looking like who didn't sound particularly like, I get for CNN viewers who trust CNN, maybe they can buy into it, but like Jackson looks like a guy who started out as like a California liberal, but then saw the truth. And like Jackson looked more authentic than the liberals they were trying to use to smear him. That is the thing. Like Jackson looked better. Jackson was smiling, he was confident, he was relatable, he had humor, he was funny, and it looked like it looked like he looked like he was wearing body armor, like, you know what I mean? Like the bullets were just bouncing off of him. So massive dud from CNN, straight up. It was just such a astronomical failure, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think. And also, I'm surprised at how much... So the worst thing... I'm going to tell you the worst things from that whole documentary. The worst things was Charmhole talking about Zogbot and talking about how he watches Nick Fuentes. In the sense of, like, that was super, like, not representative of our community at all. Straight up. And it's a dead giveaway for anyone who's familiar with us. The other things that I think were bad were, like, the insinuations, I guess, that Jackson is, like, taking foreign money. But I think they were really coming with an angle where they were like, I don't know, maybe I'm biased, but like the angle they were going with is like, oh, Jackson started out as like a California liberal, but now he's adopting all these crazy positions. So what could possibly be the logical or rational explanation? And they were trying to insinuate that it must be like foreign money. It must be something dirty. It must be like he's a grifter or something. But when I watched it, I'm definitely biased, but when I watched it, I was like, well, he was so young when they showed him as a liberal. that it almost made it seem like people would be curious, like a random person watching it would be like, I'm actually kind of curious to see like more. I want to know more about, like, I think he probably did discover something legit, and that's why he went down that path. So like, I think, but those two, I think besides that, I don't really see anything that bad. If I'm being completely honest, I don't know if I'm underestimating it, or I don't think, what was their angle? What was the point? It was just a failure.